Guys, welcome back after that short advert break. Let us now look at our next question. Right, so I'm saying here, Katlego recently visited his aunt in Manchester, United Kingdom, right? He hired a car for a couple of days. Further down, we indicated here that below is a conversion graph for converting between miles driven and the price of a hire car. So use the graph to determine how much Katlego paid in South African Rand for traveling 250 miles. Now let's look at our graph, but before we get to that point, here a note was given that £1 sterling equals 24 Rand 1 cent, right? So that was the note. So here is our graph, right? So here's our price in pounds, and here's our distance indicated in miles. Are we fine? So let's quickly see. So now, here's the question at hand given to us. Remember, we need to find now how much he paid, okay, for hiring this car. So first of all, right, we are saying use the graph to determine how much Katlego paid in South African Rand for traveling 250 miles. Let's take that as our starting point. So let's find 250 miles. It's right here. Can you see? So there's 250 miles. So first of all, I'm going to establish how much did he pay in pounds, and then I'm going to convert that pounds to South African Rand by using this conversion that's given there, the little note there. Are we fine? Okay, so for 250 miles, there we go, intersect there, now I'm going to move left. So meaning in the UK, in Manchester, right, he paid 150 pounds, right? So in the UK, he paid 150 pounds. So we would like to know how much did he pay in South African Rand. So therefore, we'll take the 150 pounds and we'll multiply that by the rate of 24,01. So let's quickly type that in, 150 multiplied by 24.01. So that will give us a total. So the equivalent in South African Rand then is 3,601 Rand and 50 cents. Guys, are we all clear on that? First, I found 250 miles. What did he pay in, basically in the UK? We established it's 150 pounds. Then I took the note here, the conversion that says £1 equals 24 Rand 1 cent. So I took the 150 pounds, I multiplied by the rate of 24 Rand 1 cent, and I ended up with a price or cost of 3,601 Rand and 50 cents. All right. Let us move on and see what is our next question. So question number 2, we are saying here that two conversion graphs shows how to convert between some currencies. Right, now, before I look at the question, let's first see what our graphs are all about. So looking at the graph on my left-hand side, this one here, I can convert between euros and US dollars. We agree. Looking at the graph on the right-hand side here, I can convert between pounds in US dollars, right? So now I will look at question 2a. 2a, I'm saying convert 30 pounds into euros. So where do I see pounds? Here. But now there's a potential problem here. Based on my two graphs, I don't have a direct conversion between pounds and euros. We agree? But however, I can convert from pounds to US dollars, and then looking at the graph on my left hand side, I can then convert from US dollars into euros. Can you see? So that is the logic I'm going to follow here. Okay, and I want you to do this with me. So we have 30 pounds, right? Let's find 30 pounds on our pound graph that represent pounds. And I must convert that first to US dollars. So let's see. It's our move. Where do they meet? They meet right there. Right? So on this line, I will come down. Okay, so that will give me 44 US dollars. So we can say then that 30 pounds equals 44 US dollars. Guys, are you still with me? So what will happen now? Now I'll come to my graph here, and I'll take the 44 US dollars and I convert that to euros, right? So let's look at our dollars here. I said that's 44, and again look at the intervals there. So 42, 44 is here, and it's US dollars, right? I'll move all the way up. Where does it meet with that line? Straight line there, and now I'll move to my left hand side. So we agree then that 44 US dollars is equivalent to 40 euros. So there I converted 30 pounds to euros by doing the calculation that I did just now. Guys, is that clear to all of you? All right, let's look at our next question. In the next question, I'm saying the two conversion graphs show how to convert between some currencies. Same context, right? This time around, I would like us to convert 200 euros to pounds. Guys, again, do I have euros to pounds? No. Can you see here we have euros and US dollars, pounds to US dollars. Right. So again, I must come up with a plan. Okay. So I will start by indicating euros. Okay. I will think now we have 200 euros. So to make this simple for myself, I'll think that 40, right, euros multiplied by 5 will give me 2 euros. We agree. So therefore I can then say what times 5, that's a conversion factor I'll use, will give me, actually will take me, if I use the conversion factor, what must I multiply by 5, right? So first of all, I'll say then that 30, right, pounds multiplied by 5, right, will then give me 150 pounds. Why? Because I use the following logic, right? Because I've indicated that 40 euros multiplied by 5 equals, and remember this is what we need to convert, 200 euros. Guys, I hope you are following my logic here. I found the factor, can we see here I've multiplied by 5 to give me that 200, and then here I also multiply by 5, the correct conversion factor. Okay, so therefore that will give us 150 euros. Are we fine with that? Or 150 pounds for that matter. Okay, are we fine? All right, let's now move on to our next question. So in our next question, we are saying question number 3. An empty tank for storing water from a borehole, right, has a volume of 430 cubic meters. It is filled by a pump that is pumping water at a rate of 16 liters per second. That's quite a lot. Now think about it. Every second, right, 16 liters of water is pumped by this pump. Okay, determine the number of hours it will take the pump to fill this tank. Guys, please take time, understand what the question is all about, right? So there's a borehole, it has a volume of 480 cubic meters, right? It is filled by a pump. Now this pump is pumping water at a rate of 16 liters every second. So what is the aim? What is it that we need to answer? We must determine the number of hours it will take the pump to fill this tank. Now, we are giving you a little note here. It says, note that 1 liter equals 1,000 cubic centimeters. Also important is that 1 million cubic centimeters equals 1 cubic meter. Now, remember, it's like building a puzzle. We have all the pieces here. We must put it together. Okay, now I'll start by looking at my notes here. So what can I use first? Remember, we are saying here that a ball has a volume of 480 cubic meters. So I will first go and I'll convert that to cubic centimeters, right? So let's take that, 480 cubic meters equals to, right? And remember now, 1 cubic meter equals a million of cubic centimeters. So therefore I will take the 480, I'll multiply by 1,000. We agree. Then that will give me 480 million cubic centimeters, right? Why did I do that? Because remember, I must go from a solid state, the cubic meters, to a liquid state, which is your liters. And there's no direct conversion between them. But now I can go from here to there and then to liters. You see what I'm trying to do here? So therefore, I will now go and I'll take the 480 million cubic centimeters and I'll divide it by 1,000 cubic centimeters. Guys, so that I can end up now with a liquid, right? So that will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just to save us time. So therefore, this will give us 480,000 liters. Guys, you still with me? Right. So remember now, I'm at liters. Now we are saying that this pump is pumping water at a rate of 16 liters per second. So now we'll go and to see, I know the amount of liters I have. So now we'll take, and I'll continue here. Therefore, I'll take the 480,000 liters and I'll divide that by 16 liters to see how many seconds that will take. Are you still following? Good. So let's take our 480 liters and I'll divide that by 16. So therefore, it will give us 30,000 seconds. Guys, are we still good? But remember now it says, and I'll read that part to you again, determine the number of what? Of hours, not seconds. Right? It will take 30,000 seconds, but we would like to know how many hours that will be. So therefore, I'll take my 30,000, right, and I'll divide that by, right? So remember now it is 60 from seconds to minutes and then minutes to hours. So it's 30,000 divided by your 3,600. How did I get to that? And I'll quickly write it here. Remember, from seconds to minutes and then minutes to hours, right? 6 times 6 is 36, and I'll add the 2 zeros. That will take me to my, hours. Are we fine with that? So therefore, if I take that 3,600 seconds, right? So that will give me, and I typed it in, 30,000 divided by 3,600 seconds. So that will give me an answer of 8,3 repetitive. So the 3 repeats itself, hours. So all in all, it will take 8 hours, right? Just a little over 8 hours for this bowl to be filled, right? The pump to pump all this water in there. Guys, let me run through it quick, right? So first I went from 480 cubic meters, I converted that to cubic centimeters because I'm working with what is presented here. Thereafter, I took my 480 million cubic centimeters, I divided it with 1,000, right? So I looked at this to convert from cubic centimeters to liters. So I've ended up with 480,000 liters of water. Then we know that it takes 16 seconds, right? Or 1 second to pump 16 liters of water into this borehole. So therefore, I took the 480,000 liters, I divided by 16 liters. It gave me an answer of 30,000 seconds, right? Then I took my 30,000 seconds and I divided it by the 3,600 seconds to convert from seconds now to hours. And therefore, I ended up with just over 3 hours. Guys, I hope that's clear to all of you. Let us take a quick advert break. After our break, we'll wrap up today's lesson. See you soon.